Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Roy, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we know the string, right? So string like hello. This is string hello Eric and Ryan. Okay, so look, this is a string S. So just guess what's the output. S dot find EL. S dot find
String needs a find.
A and D. Okay, so what's the output? S dot find.
H-E-O.
Okay, so what does this return? Just guess.
If it is in the
string,
thing,
yeah.
I think you return true.
Return true. Okay, quite close.
And for the and you can't find it because it's capital.
That's right. Yeah, that's a good finding. Okay, so this is fine. Obviously, we're trying to find. So we are trying to find a substring, right? Substring to see if it's in the original string. So this is like a pattern. This is a string. So if we find it, we return the index. So index here is 0, 1. Index 1, it finds it. So it returns 1. But you can't find it. Yeah, that's a good point. If you can't find it, returns -1. Okay, so another example. S dot find
What if the string is nothing?
nothing. That's a good point. If you find nothing, it returns 0. Okay, so you assume nothing is always found.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a substring. It can contain more than one character. How about index? How about if I replace the find with the index? What's the difference between find and index? What's the index? What does it mean, index?
It's basically like you in a book, my non-fiction book, and you go to the page you want to find it about.
I think it's like index. Is it like value?
True. Okay, so find and index quite similar, right? So what's find? You try to find the index, right? Okay, so when you say find, are you sure you're going to find it or not? No, that's why we have -1, right? But when you say index, it's there, right? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so the only difference between find and index is that when the item is not found.
Yeah.
When the item is not found, the find returns -1. The index will return a value error. Value error, this is an exception, okay? That's the only difference. That's for the string. And if this is a list, okay? If it is a list like, a list 1, 2, 3, 4, okay? This is list. And then you can do list of index. Okay, index 2, what does it return? 1, 2, 3, 4, this is a list. Index 2, what does it return? It could be the tuple. What does it return?
3.
2.
Oh, 2. No, 3.
Why is this 3?
2. Is it 0? Is 0
Two.
2?
0, 1, 2, 3. So index 2, what does it return?
3.
3? Why is this 3?
Because 3 is 0,
Wait,
1,
what?
2.
Index 2, we want to find 2.
Oh, 1.
Yeah, 0, 1, yes. Okay, okay.
I thought you were trying to find the place.
Okay. The place, then you use this bracket, right? If this is 2, then 0, 1, 2, it return 3, okay? This is how we index, find the tuple, find the element at index 2 for a tuple or array or list or whatever. And if this is like 5, then you will throw the error, right? Throw this value error because the index. But for a list, it doesn't have a find function. As I said, find returns -1 if it's the element is not found. Index returns the value error. This is exception. So raise, this is basically raise value error. It's an exception. What's exception? It's basically that computer screaming. Okay. So you ask computer, okay, what's the index of element 5 in this list? The computer just scream because I don't have it. You're trying to ask me for the index. I can't do it, right? But if it's 5, it's different. You ask me, is there an element 5 in this list? Right? You're asking like a more gentle way, and I say, okay, I don't have it, but I return you -1. Okay? Yeah, this is the difference. Eh?
No, you're asking if he does have a 5, but you're telling the computer to do something with the 5 even when he doesn't have it.
Yeah, true, yeah, similar like that. Okay. So given the list, how do we find the element? What's the strategy? How do we find the element in the array?
We look for a way.
How do we look for it? What's the strategy? 1, 2, 3, 4. I given an array. 1, 2, 3. I want to find like the 9. Right, 9 could be here. So how do we find it? How do we ask computer? How does the computer find this 9? Try to locate where the 9 is, return the index.
Go through the list.
From the left to the right. This is called linear search or brute force. If there are n elements, what's the time complexity? In the worst case, what happened?
The element you're looking for is at the end.
Or not in the array. If it's at the end or if it's not in the array, then the computer needs to, go through all the elements in the array. Inefficient, okay? Okay. If the array is sorted, how do we go do it? How do we search it? If it's the array is sorted like 1, 2, 3 till 100, we want to locate if there is number 30. How do we do it?
You check
Do you cut it?
Yeah, what does it call?
binary
Binary what?
search.
Binary search. What's the time complexity for binary search?
Again.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, overlap again. Yeah, because every time we cut in half, right? If it's smaller, if the element is in this half, we don't need to search any of those, right? So we abandon. Every time we abandon half of the search domain, okay? Okay, so let's implement a find function for the list. Okay,
What if
because
you're cutting it and the start is 40?
start is 40, what do you mean?
Like,
Okay, so
if you sort it and the first element is 40.
okay, 40, 50. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, and you're looking for 30.
When we say look in the middle, we're not saying the value middle, we're saying the middle of the array, right? So the middle array could be 100 or 300, right? Let's put another element, it doesn't matter, like. Okay, so the middle is this one. Okay, so we compare with this one. 30 is smaller than that, right? Yeah? So we don't need to do any of this.
What if the middle is 2 numbers like before?
It doesn't matter, you can pick anyone. It doesn't matter, right? Because that's just one difference. Does it make sense? Look, it's in this half, I don't need to search any of those. And then here, again, it's smaller than that. I go into here. And then it's smaller than that. Okay, we run out of choice. It's -1. Okay, so as I said, let's implement a find using the linear search, okay? Because the array, you can't be sure it's sorted. Python doesn't have a find for the list. Okay, and before I forgot, the index function, right? Index function and the find function. The first element is the target, and then there are options. So you can start and end and the range. So let's say we don't want to search the entire list. Let's say we want to start from the index 2 to index 5, then we can put the 2 and 5 here. Does it make sense? This is optional parameters, right? You can give a start and get an end. Yeah? Yeah, okay. Define, find, we want to find for a list, right? Not iterable. Array, okay? Let's just make it array. And we want to find the target, and the optional S and N. If we don't give a start parameter, the optional, it's 0. And if we don't give a optional, that's -1, okay? I can set a default value for the parameters. If you don't give a value for S, it's 0. If you don't give a value for E, it's -1. If E is -1, then we need to correct it to the length of the T, right? If we don't give a parameters for the N boundary, we set it to the end of the list iterables. For I in range from the start to the end, and we just check if ARI equal T, right? We found it, right? We go through from S to N, we found it, then we return I, otherwise we return -1. Okay, so if we decide to throw an exception, we just replace this return with raise value error. Give a message here. We can use the next function, right? So we can say answer equals next I for I in range SE if ARI equal T. Otherwise, we return -1 if we're not found, and then return answer. Or if answer equal -1, then we raise exception, raise value error. If we are implementing the index function, if it's a find function, we just return -1, right? So return answer here. Okay? Okay, so look, this is the find function for a list. We can pass a list, a tuple, right? So how do we use this function? Find a list, right? 1, 2, 3, or a tuple 1, 2, 3, and we want to find the target 3. And look, let's say if we don't specify the S and E, star and N, the S will be 0, E will be -1. But when E is -1, E will be corrected to the length of the given parameter, right? Okay, so what have you learned today?
About finding.
Find and index, right? What's the difference between find and index?
You find, you look for something.
Yeah, what's the difference between find and index? Eric?
Index is your
Brain.
you're trying to find like the like place, whatever it's called,
Mm-hmm.
and for the find you're just finding for it.
Okay, so what's the difference?
The difference is if it's not there,
Yeah.
because if you're finding it, it could be there or not there.
Mm-hmm.
But for index, you're telling something. You're telling it to do something with an element. But if the element isn't there, is a problem.
It's a problem. We raise the value error exception, okay? And the find will return -1 if it's not there, okay? Yeah? You're trying to find something, it could be there or it could not be there. It could be not existent, right? But for the index, you're pretty sure it's there. That's why you ask to find the index. When you say, okay, give me the index of the element, you'll be sure that it's there, right? And if it's not there, that's going to be problem. But you say, find me the index, and could be the case that it's not there, right? Okay? And then we use the linear search. We just do this from the search start to the end, and we find it. We try to check each element to see if it's equals to that, right? Also, the find the index suppose the optional parameter, so we can give a range from S to E. We want to find it from T, okay? So, for example, the last question, okay? S dot find Eric and Ryan, okay? And I'm give a parameter 0 to 2. What does it return?
False. -1.
Yeah.
-1. Why is -1?
Because there isn't Eric and Ryan in the 0 and 2.
Yeah, 0 and 2. Yeah, 0 and 1, 2. So you're
And
basically
Eric-
trying to find it here.
Eric and Ryan, they have more values than 2.
True, yes, true. Yeah. Okay, yeah, this is a simple way to check, right? Simple way to check. But what's underneath? How do we implement this? This is a very complicated topic. It uses an acronym called KMP, substring matching. Okay, this is out of scope of this talk. Yeah, probably in the future we can come back to this. Okay, that's it for today. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.